Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. Back at it again in the studio. Wild night in the markets. Rick, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Make sure I'm using the right mic here. It's always interesting to be back home versus being on the road. Yes, we do have the right mic. All right. We may not have the markets going the way you want, but we could talk about that. All types of news, various elections, political fronts getting real heated. If you don't like politics, you're going to have to completely get rid of all internet TV or all sources for the next at least 99 days. Seeing a lot of interesting things happen politically. We have the Olympics. We're going to let that one go. I didn't get much time to watch anything. Do want to watch a little of the gymnastics, whatnot, but was a busy weekend spending it with friends and family. Kind of was disconnected from the internet, so just need to detach here a little bit. Coming into the markets here, we might have some news in South America about export taxes. We'll see if we can confirm that. But real quick, let's take it down LaSalle Street and look at markets. D's corn down 2. This one's going to really catch people off guard, and this started Friday. August soybeans down 31. Put them down for about 65, 70-cent break in the last 48 hours. No beans down 22, meal down 46, soybean oil down 107. We got a little optimism here in the wheat. Border trade wheat up 1, KC wheat up 3, Minneapolis wheat down 2. Wheat opened up last night and went straight up, in the KC and Mini watched beans and corn go down, and it gave it up. Little selling in the cattle. Augie cattle down 25, feeder cattle down 125. Hogs, a lot of selling in hogs, down 200. Hogs had a nice bounce off the lows here the last few weeks, giving some of that back. Wall Street, it is gold up 90, silver up just 4 cents. When I say 90, I mean $9. 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, 30-year, all up. Interest rates coming down. Little note, interest rates in Germany really coming down on the 10-year. They call it the boon there, the 10-year boon, trading around that 255 level. I'll check my math on that. Crude oil up 4 cents. Natural gas down. Natural gas back below 2,000. I didn't see that. Must have really come back down on these temps, not quite being as high as one would have thought. Dow Jones, a lot of volatility there. Currently unchanged, but it's been as high as up 200, down 150. NASDAQ, put it down for up 200. S&P up 23. I have to switch my Bitcoin. Looks like what I was looking at expired. Please stand by on the old Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 1,000. President Trump was at a Bitcoin rally, I believe, in Nashville. Copper down 4. Bring them in. Connor B, action-packed show like I've never done this. Standing at this desk, I feel all out of sorts. What?
I'm sure you're glad to be back home.
Yeah, it's not much fun doing it from a laptop on the road, but well, actually, I didn't. You guys just did it, and that worked out a lot better. So thank you so much. I want to say great show, but I didn't watch them. Right? I know you guys are great at what you do. I don't need to watch you talk about the markets. I have them always entertaining, you know. But
we said some super nice stuff about you. It brought tears. Got a lot of nice messages. It brought tears.
If you're going to take a day off, then take a day off. But we had a great run there at Hefty. It was I learned a lot, met a lot of people, a lot of interesting things happening. What do you have for news for us this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I think the real story is this soybean market, Tommy. As you said, down 60 cents. Feels like it's weighing across everything, right, with corn down 2. And yeah, that's new contract lows. I think by a good 5-10 cents, we're in uncharted territory on the November soybean contract. Looking at, if we put a basis on this, we're well below $10 cash corn for fall delivery right now, Tommy.
Yeah, cash corn, cash beans, the whole deal, right?
Yep.
Did you say $10 cash?
I said below $10 cash beans.
Yeah, very good. And corn prices, when I spent some time in Minnesota and North Dakota, and I was looking at local cash prices, and it's really starting to affect the psyche of the farmer. It didn't affect anyone out on the lakes. The music was blaring. People were at the restaurants. A lot of parking lot was full of new pickups and nice vehicles. But it is affecting decisions on what people do moving forward. And starting to hear chatter on the internet of people breaking cash rent deals. Definitely not just chatter. People backing off on equipment. So they put money down on equipment. They're like, I don't want it. They're like, if you don't take it, we're keeping your money. And they're like, keep my money. I don't want it. So people willing to lose the deposit than rather than go a ton in debt. Speaking of equipment, there are people who have committed to buy things who put money down that the equipment's worth $150,000 less. So they can lose their deposit, go down the street and say, yeah, you got my 25, 50 grand. I just saved 100 by backing out of the deal. Nothing we encourage, but I can see how it happens, right? It's
Absolutely.
just math. All right. What else do we have for headlines?
Yeah. Other one. Here's one. It's probably too early in the game, but U.S. court rejects EPA denials of the 22 small refinery biofuel waivers. So what that means, Tommy, is the court is going to revisit the EPA back in 22 said no, you cannot get an exclusion. You've got to blend it for these small refiners. The U.S. court said that's not okay. We want to revisit that. So the potential is right. We're going to maybe see some less blending mandates for those small refiners. Still too early to tell, but not exactly like the rah we wanted to see in the biofuels, right? Kind of I think it's part of the trend that we've seen the past 3 months is we're not seeing that big government push for pushing biofuels, the RFS, all that. So time will tell, right? It might not mean anything. It really just applies to the small refineries, but not necessarily the rah we wanted in the biofuel world.
Yeah, what a difference from a year ago. I did attend that
Absolutely.
No Bull Ag Summit down in St. Louis. That'll be happening again in like 10 days. And they got a heck of a lineup of carbon and biofuel and this and that and all the smart people. But whew, this is just because they say it's going to happen doesn't mean it's a sure thing or it's a big profit win for everyone. The A friend of mine recently switched jobs and he's getting all involved in carbon credits and all this other stuff. And I told him, you can explain it to me again, but I might need you to explain it 2, 3 times. So when I asked him, what are you going to do at your new job? Well, I think I'm going to be doing something like this. I go, listen, when you figure it out, let us know. We'll have you on the show, but you get your ducks in a row and get people ready to receive these carbon credits and get their carbon score. It's not our expertise. We're futures and options brokers. Brady sells LRP. That's what we do. It's not my job to come tell you, client, this is where you should be in carbon. You need to do your own homework, and there's a lot of moving parts. But this whole we're not going to be able to produce enough soybeans because we need them for biofuel, that didn't happen.
Nope, not even close. And it feels like we're far from a year ago. We're 2 steps back, in my opinion, Tommy, from getting there too. And so
Yeah.
completely different change. Other thing we got, okay, here we go. Argentina talks of reducing export taxes. I don't know if it's reducing. The president's talking about completely scrapping export taxes. He promised that when he got in office, and now he's revisiting that promise. He wants to make exports attractive, the Argentinian farmer be able to export it much more easily than they have in the past. So we'll see, right? Is it just rhetoric, or are we going to see some follow through?
Yeah, we'll get if we have a for sure confirmation on that, we'll text clients, email them, let them know the whole deal on that. I can't say that I know so much about that. There was an election down there, and so, you see a lot of they're not letting people vote. They have guards. This person was elected in Venezuela. Very turbulent election in Venezuela. We'll
Yep.
probably talk about that a little bit tomorrow on the show. Okay, we have some pop ups, some graphs, some
Yeah.
funds. What are the funds doing? I know people like to. Like the one farmer said at Hefty Ag PhD, maybe if so and so gets elected, they'll ban the funds from shorting. We'll see about that. I
Yeah.
think that would be a big no. But go ahead.
And so they're still maintaining their record short position. We saw a slight buyback. This is all corn, soybeans, meal, oil, and wheat all combined, Tommy. And you can see we saw some slight buying back, but overall, we are still in uncharted territory when we're looking at the short position that the funds have on across all commodities. Right now, here's a fun fact for you. There's only one commodity they still have a long position on, and that's soybean meal, and that is rapidly going away because soybean meal back in May, right, we were 118,000 contracts long. Right now it's about 15. So they're eliminating that very quickly. So the story is we still got a big short position on. They've maybe bought back a little bit, but to me, it's still the same story that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm. Any other pop-ups or graphs? I know you had. Look at this.
What is this?
35 trillion. We just hit 35 trillion here just a little bit ago. Who knows? Interesting fact, whether the 4 years of President Trump, we went up 7.5 trillion. In the 4 years of President Biden, we're projected to go up 7.5. So it's not a Democrats versus Republicans versus this. It's just all of us. Every administration is putting us further into debt. And then the amount of interest rates have tripled compared to what the government's used to paying. In some ways, they've went up more than that. I mean, they were borrowing money for free for a while, or a extremely low rate like 0.25, 0.50 on the very, very short end. 10-year at one point went down to lower ones. So we didn't stay down there long, but 10-year yields are higher. Short-term interest rates are way higher. The United States government has the same problem the farmer has. It's just the United States government is 35 trillion in debt, and that doesn't look to be getting any better. And I don't think either candidate really, truthfully, has a plan to fix that.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy. Do we have a Fed meeting this week? Is that tomorrow, Wednesday?
Yep. I think we do. I do have to double check this. One thing I noticed yesterday in my drive is that all the stock guys were talking about that we have an action-packed week in stock and earnings and everything else. And that's something we can pop up tomorrow on all the companies that are going to have earnings. I want to say right before we went live, people were chattering about McDonald's. Maybe McDonald's came out with something and it didn't go so well. Doesn't shock me. I mean, I think the consumer's starting to get tapped out, and McDonald's is struggling to get back down to that $5 Happy Meal and all that stuff. It's all good, but I tell you, traveling across the country, whether you stop for gas or food or drinks or anything else, it costs a lot more than you think, and it just it just is what it is. I mean, it's not what anyone wants to hear, but it is the truth, and it's a problem. Any other news, questions, comments? We got a lot of people watching. Questions and comments have been pretty quiet, but if you're out there and you want to talk to us, just shoot us a question. Obviously, we want you to like and subscribe to the Advanced Trading YouTube channel. While we're waiting for you to drop a question, let's talk about a little premium content. Obviously, Saturday, we had Don Wick. End of the week, that's something Don and I do almost every Friday or Saturday. And we just talk about markets and politics a little bit. This morning, we had Mick out super early. Mick came out and did weather. Mick joins us on premium content Monday and Fridays. We talked briefly. I have another one part of this I sent out. This is Brian Hefty's top 10 tips for farmers, and he had this. You know, if you put the sheet on the other side, he had tips from Dad. But this is just some stuff I picked up from Hefty field days there in South Dakota. So just pumping out that premium content. If that's something that interests you, go to www.atipromedia.com. $30 a month, $1 a day, and we'll keep coming out with that. We have a crop report. I believe that'd be next week, right?
Correct. Next week. I believe it's August 12th. I always get it. Brady always makes fun of me because I think I always say the 13th, but it's the 12th, right? Yeah, the 12th.
You say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. No one's going to yell at you. This is a family-friendly show.
And speaking of weather, we had a nice shower come across Illinois, and I believe it's hitting you right now in Valpo, I think. But another nice rain. You know, that was the story last week, is that 10-day forecast. The GFS was a little bit drier and heat. We've got the heat coming. It's going to be in the 90s. But, man, we had two nice rains over the weekend here in central Illinois. Crop it's going to take a lot to derail this crop, I think, Tommy. I just don't see it right now. We've got some potential for really, really, really good yields.
Yeah, and we're talking to clients daily about, hey, we're past the part where you're not sure if you're going to plant it. We're past the part of it. There's a little bit of flooding in this field, or a lot of it for some of you. We're past all those things. As you end July, you can say, holy cow, I'm growing a corn crop. Whether it's 180 yield or 240, I think that's the part we're waiting for. And outside of a big wind or some horrible hail or something hitting it, there is a crop out there. Real quick before we go, we do have one question or comment. I just want to add to stage. This is by far the big mover. This is a daily of August beans. You can see we really started to have some nice days up here. Just to give you a little reference, you know, we went from call it 1070 up to 1150. I mean, a significant rally, but we've went from this level of I'm sorry, that might be like 11. Having a hard time reading it. 1120. Mm-hmm. And so it was not 1150. We went from 1070 to 1120, a 50-cent rally. We've given all that back and a whole bunch more. And August beans, this is old crop, folks. Not a pretty picture in corn. If you're dealing with old crop corn, this is Dees, obviously. But let's talk SEP corn here. Same problem, has a 3 in front of it, puts a cash price. Right here, what you're looking at, and there's a bunch of people that are saying this better hold. Didn't realize how many bottoms we had there, but I do now, and so do you. This is the most expensive crop the American farmer ever put in his trading down here. Call it maybe there's some people with a plus basis, wouldn't surprise me at all because the price of the futures are dropping, but plus 20-cent basis puts you at 410 corn. Let's not get excited. A
Right.
poor basis like we're experiencing in North Dakota because there's so many bushels finally, and we're over that Ukraine war flood of when we just were essentially it felt like running out of everything. The markets have moved on. So terrible price action. Definitely going to leave a mark on the farmer. You're seeing prices collapse, obviously, in the futures. Keep an eye on spreads. We're seeing prices collapse in equipment, both new and used. The next shoe to fall, folks, is land. Now, interest rates are going to calm down a little bit this year. But when I say a little bit, for everyone out there who owes money, it's still going to feel elevated high. So you are going into what I would call almost a death spiral. When we talk about this on Premium Up today, I'm going to present my PowerPoint that I showed people on ATI Pro Media Premium Edition. The PowerPoint I showed and pretty much just draw some stick figures, but interest rates have went to 40-year highs relative to how much money you're borrowing, and grain prices are at multi-year lows, but you have a high cost production. So the death spiral is you have a high cost production into a falling market into an elevated interest rate. With that, let's see what questions or comments we have. I can't spin it any other way.
Yep. Luke, any thoughts on cotton or oil this morning? Tommy, you're the cotton expert.
Oh, cotton. It's the fabric of our lives. Cotton's going to have same problems as everyone else. I do know there was all types of problems getting it planted in Texas, whatnot. And it always is, right? It never goes smoothly. We do have to watch other world markets and everything else just to see how, when I think of cotton, I kind of think of India and the overall economy. If you want to be optimistic, the Dow Jones is at 40,800. There is still some money. We did not have a stock market collapse. Next question or comment?
Here we go. Currently, my river terminal, very busy, old crop getting moved, busy like harvest time. You hate. I've heard this saying. The St. Louis terminal south of me. I've heard the same thing. Right. We're seeing that. We talk about the fund position and how record short they are, but Brady does a great job of illustrating just how long the farmer is, and the average farmer. We're not holding that old crop through harvest, right? And so I think we're seeing that finally get out of the farmer's hands and get ready for this next crop. Oh, in continuation, no rain in southern Ohio yet in the forecast for this week. It was forecasted last week, but we never got any. Hate to hear that, Buckeye Farm Boy.
Yeah, that's a horrible scenario. And then, well, a lot of people. Yeah, we'll go to the next question. Let's address the last statement. Horrible situation. There could be nothing worse than to just have an average to below average crop in a depreciating market. You're going to need every bushel you have. Stinks to sell 350 corn, but it'd be a heck of a lot better to sell 350 corn with a record crop. At the point you're not really touching crop insurance, and I don't know what Buckeye Farmer bought for crop insurance. If you want to be a hero and tell us, please do. We'd love to know. But you got to start working out those math. So I don't know what you have for hedging. I don't know what you have for forward sales. You might be more forward sold than you thought. With that, call your crop insurance agent and see what the numbers look like. Before we go home today, markets are on the lows. August beans are down 38. No beans are down 27. You're starting to see corn. Corn tried to rally and get unchanged. It's down 3. Feels like it's up 10 with that amount of level. But soybean oil down. Everything outsides are pretty wild. Should be an extremely volatile week with outside markets. And this trade, I heard Cargill lost millions in the cocoa market. A week or two ago, I did a special with Scott Shalday on RFD on Scott the Cow Guy about the losses in cocoa. And some wild things happen when you have a crop that people really don't deliver on what they said they're going to deliver, and the price quadrupled, right?
I'd love to see a cocoa chart, Tommy. I don't think I could pop it up quick enough because I don't look at cocoa, but I bet it was talk about a roller coaster there, right?
Yeah, that's something we can get tomorrow. I almost traded a cocoa future and a cocoa option during that debacle. And a risk manager friend of mine said, listen, I'm spending half my day getting people out of these problems. Why don't you not become one of my problems? And I said, good deal. He said, why don't you go trade something like corn where at least you know what you're going to lose when you do it? So he's kind of laughing. But to get people involved in contracts, especially like someone sells a way out of the money call that becomes in the money. You get people are like, boy, if I ever got short here, that'd be great. Well, you're short there and it's 25 grand against you on per one lot. So it wasn't so great. Extreme volatility by far, probably go down as one of 2024's wildest commodity stories. There's just so few people trading it. I hate to leave, we're on a good roll here. We have 250 people.
We got
Yes,
Buckeye. Buckeye Farm Boy responded 75% level. So just to give some color, if you think you have your APH out there, 466, the Feb average times 75%, 350 is that trigger point for if crop insurance is going to kick in. Right now, December's at 407. So we got a ways to go before crop insurance is going to bail you out at the 75% level.
Mhm.
Thanks for responding to that.
Yeah, thanks. Soybean limits 85 cents. Brady Huck, shame on you. 85 cents. Brady, what is wrong with you? I know it's hot in Dodge City today, 104. Brady Huck, he will no longer be with this show. We apologize for that. That just popped up. Brady Huck insinuating that we're down 36 cents and limits are 85. That's just limit. But then if you really want to be a strange bird, we can trade synthetically another limit right through options. So right. Ashley, I like your optimism. At least we're not a $1.20 limit. Hey, real quick, give the boys a shout out. This was a good one. If you missed it and you haven't subscribed yet to ATI Pro Media Premium, Connor and Brady talked about you think 2024 is bad, at least start to get in control as much as you want to or would like to, or understand that some people aren't actually stuck long a bunch of old crop and nothing done in 24. They actually get ahead of the stuff and have been and will continue to work on 25. Set a basic floor for 25. I will go back and review that, and I'm sure 100% 5 stars with that. Speaking of stars, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for premium content. Clients, if you're out there and you're bummed out, we have rain gauges. I just found a case of rain gauges. If you need rain, we can send you a couple of rain gauges. If you need an American flag, we can do that. Some days we're going to talk a little bit more politics than others. 99 days to the election. It's going to be interesting. That's all I could say. I did have a discussion with a farmer, and he tried to tell me if XYZ party wins, it's going to end the world and everything else. I said, listen, if you didn't know who was president, would you know who was president? And he's like, no, not really. I go, then just go on with your life. You get your vote and let the people choose what they want. It's interesting. So, yeah, real quick on this, I do want to give away a flag. Connor B, Tommy G, sure. Brady Huck down below coaching us that limits are 85 cents. I love that. We do have crop reports. I will say this when it comes to the bean market, that this market went way further than some people thought, but there were some people a few weeks ago saying that beans could easily go down dollars and dollars. So with that, if you're out there and you want a free flag, give us a call, emails 1-855-737-FARM, info@ATI Pro Media. We enjoy, it was good to get to know the people at Acres TV. That is really booming. If you haven't yet, get out there and subscribe. It's free. Go to Acres TV. All types of content on there. Boy, if you like agronomy and stories on ag, that is the place to be. It's like the Netflix of ag. Anything else, Connor B?
Nope. Still on the lows looking there, so we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Since we've started ATI Pro Media, our first live broadcast was on, I think it was maybe Good Friday of last year, right around Thanksgiving, the day, I think it was Good Friday, we did one. Well, and I don't
think that's good. That's a different Good Friday, I think, than I'm thinking of, but
yeah.
Friday after Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah. Did I say Good Friday? Who knows?
You said Good Friday, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Shopping Friday. Madness Friday. Yeah, not Good Friday. That's easy.
Black Friday.
So, yes, thank you. Black Friday was our first broadcast. We have done nothing but go down since then. So if you need us to cancel the show, we can do that. If that's what's going to take to get this thing to rally, then we'll dive on the sword. Tommy Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana, Connor Bridgman, Assumption, Illinois. If you need something, give us a call. If you're scared, I understand you should be. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.